So, before I start talking about the Game of Thrones episode that I saw yesterday at 3 a.m. in the morning, I have to warn you. I cannot do these reviews without talking about spoilers. So, spoilers. Yeah. And they're good spoilers. So, you kinda won't enjoy the episode anymore if you get spoiled. So, be wary of that. I'm gonna spoiler it basically in the next sentence. So, watch out for that. And yeah, watch the episode. Now, for those people that are still here, let's talk about the overall episode first. The overall episode 3, season 8. How did I like it? Well, it was a good episode. It was a very good episode. Nothing more and nothing less, right? The thing is, though, that for the final confrontation with the Night King, because, spoiler alert, the Night King is dead, it's, well, to call an episode where a battle against the Night King takes place, where the Night King dies, only very good, that's not very good. It should be a description like this episode was fantastic, it was amazing, it was the best thing ever. But honestly speaking, if you'd ask me to describe the episode with one word, then this word would be wasted potential. Because the entire episode was just a waste of potential. The thing is, though, that after watching the episode, I kinda already wanted to do the review. But I was kinda like, I was a bit tilted at the end. A bit tilted, right? So I said, okay, chill, right? Sleep over it, and let's see how you feel in the morning. And I'm still tilted. So let's do this review. Now, why do I say this episode was a waste of potential? Well, honestly speaking, I really liked the episode at the beginning. It started off fantastic. It started off very eerie. Everybody was like, holy shit, what's gonna happen? And then the Night King's army came and the Dothraki attacked first. The Melisandre lit their swords on fire, and they stormed against the undead. And then there was the most amazing shot I've seen in a while. And basically, you couldn't see the Dothraki anymore, but what you could see were their flaming swords, and they slowly died out. So you only saw these lights die out, and it showed that was the undead army, right? It was crazy. It was actually pretty cool, and then the undead started to attack. It was crazy. I really, really liked the beginning of the episode. Now, the episode continued on afterwards, and it was basically what you expected. A lot of fighting, a lot of dying. The undead, of course, stormed the walls. Many people, not main characters, I'm gonna get to that, died, and it was a crazy episode. I really liked it. From the beginning to the middle, it was really good. Because the plan was, of course, to lure the Night King out. So basically, what everybody else's job was, except for Daenerys, Jon, and Theon, was to basically fight the undead for as long as possible. And it felt like that. There were undeads lining the walls. It was really cool. And one of my favorite moments, honestly, during the earlier parts of the episode was when the Unsullied had to reflect, not reflect, but retreat, and Grey Worm retreated, and he called for a retreat, but they didn't move a single inch. They did not retreat. I thought that was a cool, cool part of the episode. Anyway, though, let's get to the parts that, left a sour taste in my mouth. Well, basically the ending. And what did not happen in the episode? What did not happen in the episode? Basically, only 5 people died. I'm gonna tell you who died right now. Melisandre, the Red Woman. And she died by basically putting off her clothes, going out after the battle was won, into the winter and just dying. So everybody expected that. She said she would die in Westeros anyway. Not a big thing. And the Night King didn't even kill her, right? Then the guy with the eye patch, I'm very sorry that I forgot your name. I knew it once, but I forgot. So I'm sorry. He died. And he died and his destiny was finally revealed, he died to save Arya. I'm gonna get to that as well. Who else died? Well, Elliot died. The Crow, that was a very good friend of Jon, he died. And that was actually, for me personally, it was the most touching death after Theon. But it was just a very touching moment, right? And I think my favorite scene in the entire episode was when Elliot was standing right at the front of the gates. And Sam, Sam was supposed to be in the crypts, because he isn't a fighter. And then Sam does go to the front, and Elliot just turns to him and was like, "What took you so long?" Fantastic scene. I love that scene. I think it was my favorite scene of the entire episode. Who else died? Let me think for a sec. The little girl, the Mormon girl. I didn't expect them to kill her, but it was a cool scene. She killed a giant, an undead giant. And Jorah Mormont died as well. But that were the deaths that were to be expected. Like Melisandre was to be expected. Jorah Mormont was to be expected. The little girl was a surprise. Like, I didn't actually think they would kill her. Elliot was a surprise. And who was the other one? Man, I'm having actually kind of problems to recall that. Yeah, the eye patch guy. Like, everybody, those were those were the expected kills. But after them, nobody died. And this is one of the major downfalls of this episode. The Night King, right? The ultimate evil. Even more evil than Cersei. Because Cersei is very evil, obviously. But the Night King wants to kill all living things. And nobody dies. 5 people die. 5 people die. He's a threat that has been teased for 8 seasons. For 8 seasons. And 5 people die. 5 people. Crushing disappointment is what I'm feeling at this number. Now, don't get me wrong here, right? If in a later episode George R.R. Martin decides to kill off basically everyone, then I can understand it. But at the time being, I'm a bit worried that George R.R. Martin will continue this trend, and in the Battle of Cersei, another 5 will die. And then at the end, most people will still be alive. That will bother me. It will really bother me. Again, if I see the next episode and these living characters still have some major purpose, it would be okay, right? But at the point of recording, which is one day after like a couple of hours after the episode aired, I have to say that I'm very disappointed that only 5 people died. But now to the second most disappointing thing. Who kills the Night King? Arya Stark. Now first I have to put a disclaimer here. I really, really like Arya Stark's character. Really. Like, it's one of my favorite storylines, honestly. For example, I did not like Bran's storyline. Like, over the seasons, every time Bran came up, I was like, why are we watching this dude exactly? And even now, I'm like, Bran, like, what's your point? You lured the Night King out, but did you actually do something? Like, okay, you told the people that they have a dragon, and you went through this crazy journey through the north, but what's your point exactly? But I never had that with Arya. Arya was always an interesting storyline for me. When she traveled with the Bloodhound, when she went to Essos, when she trained under the multi-faced god, I don't know how his English translation is. It was always an interesting storyline, and I really liked her character. The thing is, though, I don't think that she deserves to kill the Night King. Now let me explain, for those people that will now say, oh, whoa. Let me explain. She does not deserve to kill the Night King because she has no relation with the Night King. You see, because for 8 seasons here, the Crows have been guarding the north. Jon Snow has been guarding the north against wildlings and, well, the Night King. Sam and all the other people have been up there. They have seen the Night Walkers. They have fought them. They have survived. They even went up there to catch an undead and bring it back to Cersei. And who, at the end of the plot, of the end of the Night King plot, who gets to kill the Night King? Arya. What has Arya ever got to do with the Night King? She was in the south for basically 8 seasons. 8 seasons. And didn't have jack shit to do with the Night King. Nothing. But she still gets to kill him. And I have to ask myself, why? What the fuck has she got to do with the Night King? Nothing. She's just a character that, well, let's be fucking real here. She can fight very well. Yeah, she's a good fighter. But does that mean that she gets to kill a character that has been opposing the forces in the north for 8 seasons, while she's been in the south, and then she comes back to the north and gets to kill the ultimate baddie of the north? That's just stupid, honestly. Do you know how I imagined the Night King going down? I thought that the last remaining crows, like Elliot, Sam, Jon Snow, that the last fucking remaining crows would stand together, and at their side would be some wildlings. Tormund would be there, because they are the North. They represent the wall and everything beyond the wall. And the Night King also represents everything bad beyond the wall. And it would have been so cool to see the last fucking remaining Watchers on the Wall fighting alongside the wildlings against the Night King. And during that fight, Elliot might die. He might sacrifice himself. And then Tormund kills the Night King. It wouldn't have even mattered to me if Jon Snow killed the Night King, honestly. But imagine this scene. Imagine the last remaining crows and the wildlings fight against the Night King, and then the Night King is killed. That would have been a touching scene. That would have been a dope ass scene. It would have been fantastic. But who gets to kill the Night King? Arya Stark. Arya Stark, that has been spending 8 seasons in the south, has never before seen the Night King, and just because of some random ass prophecy, she gets to kill the Night King. I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed. I cannot even express it with words. But the thing is, though, that I really like Arya's character. I really liked her before that. And now I'm like, you did not deserve to kill the Night King. You have absolutely nothing to do with the Night King. The Night King should have been killed by by a crow or by a wildling. Not by some Arya Stark that has never even been beyond the wall. And I don't think the people will be even bothered by it. But I'm bothered by it. I'm really bothered by it. And I think that was a scene where I was like, how can George R. R. Martin do that? How can he do that? I mean, yeah, sure, she's a good fighter. And as a friend of mine put it, she killed the Night King with a trick she learned in in season 3. But come on, man. Why couldn't the last remaining crows and the wildlings kill the Night King? I don't know. I was very disappointed by that scene. So, what were my major disappointments of the episode? Well, Arya kills the Night King and nobody dies. 5 people die and the expected characters die, except Elliot. Rest in peace, Elliot. But you could have also been killed by the Night King instead of just the undead goon. Very disappointed. Very disappointing. But the episode in general was good. It was a good episode. Except for the last parts, which are the reason why I deduct points, I would give this episode a 7. Now you might now say, hold up, Max. Why do you give the last episode fighting against the Night King only a 7? Well, because the first part of the episode was a 10 out of 10. I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked. But the last parts, when I realized that nobody would die, I was just like, what's the point? What's the point here? And another friend of mine with which I watched the episode also said, you see, the Night King, the big bad evil, the opposing force of all life, didn't really kill any characters that were, you know, meaningful. And he was right. I mean, Melisandre would have died anyway. The eye patch guy, well, yeah, he had a destiny. But his destiny was only to save Arya Stark, which didn't deserve to kill the Night King anyway. Then there's the little girl Mormont. Well, that was sad, but you know, okay. And then there's Jorah Mormont, who would have. It was obvious that he was gonna die. And yeah, I don't. And Theon, of course. Theon died as well. Theon was a very sad death. I didn't know if I mentioned him. I really like Theon was also a very, very sad death. But you know, that was the only thing that the Night King actually did. He killed Theon, yeah. That was a cool scene. I liked that scene, honestly. It was very good. But the Night King didn't really do anything, honestly. The Night King didn't have the impact that my friend thought he would have. And he didn't have the impact that I thought he would have. So my final verdict is a 7. 10 out of 10 for the first half of the episode. And then once we realize that basically no one will die, it gets points deducted for that. Because you'll just sit there and be like, is somebody gonna die? Like, it's only 20 minutes left. When are they gonna kill off the characters? Only to then Theon die, and then you're like, okay, I'm sorry, this episode is a 10 out of 10. And then Arya kills the Night King, and you're like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? This episode is a 2 out of 10. But I slept over. I slept over it, and it's a 7 out of 10. It's a 7 out of 10, my friends. And yeah. Honestly speaking, I don't know what they're gonna do for the episodes afterwards, because they still have 3 episodes, and they're gonna be supersized. Now, I have a question for the producers of Game of Thrones. What are you gonna do now? You see, because I would have understood if you had like 1 episode after the battle, you know, discussing the losses and blah blah blah. But there weren't any losses. Basically, nobody died. So, what are you gonna do for the next episode 3? Spend an entire episode going to the south? Probably. I don't know. It's like, I don't know where they're going now. I honestly don't. And I'm very, I don't know, that this might not end the way that fans would like. And I'm not talking about who will sit on the Iron Throne, but maybe yeah. You see, because I did not expect, honestly speaking, I did not expect that Daenerys Targaryen would sit on the throne. Not in a million years. I would have thought Daenerys Targaryen at the end of the series will sit on the Iron Throne. But now, after Arya killed the Night King, maybe she will. Maybe Daenerys will actually sit on the throne. And if that happens, then dear George R. R. Martin, but that's not the Game of Thrones thing to do. Yeah. Okay, tell me what you liked about the episode. Tell me why you hated it. I want to know, because I want to talk about it, honestly. So, write it in the comments if you want. And yeah, like or dislike the video, doesn't really matter. And 27 out.